Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and today I'm sharing with you a version of this card, which is a trifold screen card, I guess you would say. So what I'm using here is the detailed floral framelits, Thinlits dies, not framelits, Thinlits dies. So if you have it out like this, that's a standard A4 sheet of cardstock. It's then been scored, then die cut, and then I've added, in this one I used some of the new rope accessory and one of the Halloween tassels. I'm using slightly different product for that section, and I'm using a different stamp. It's backed by vellum, so you could, if you want, put white cardstock on there as well and use that to write your sentiment. I like it because I use this as a luminaire with one of these little lights that can come on like a tea light and it shines beneath, which I don't think you probably get it if I do it like that, and it really does diffuse the light that you have coming in, and it's really quite beautiful and sublime. So that's what we're doing today, and it looks very complicated and it's actually very, very simple. So the products that you need, where I'm using the stamping trimmer, you could easily use your scoring tool with a metric plate, or if you're obviously using inches, you can use a standard scoring tool with a stylus and do the scoring that way. But for me, I don't have sufficient space here to be able to put my scoring tool up during demonstrations, so I'm using my stamping trimmer. Right, run through of all the products for you. So we're using some of the, this is a sneaky peek here. This is called Candy Cane Baker's Twine. You get a solid cherry cobbler and you get a red, what would you call it? It's got like little foiled pieces in there. I'll think of it in a moment. But you've got lovely red glittery look to it. You will also need a handheld stapler and 2 punches. So we've got the Sweetheart punch and the decorative label punch. We've got the detailed floral Thinlits dies. Now I've already pulled out the die that I want, but they really are beautiful. So this is the smaller piece, which you can die cut, and then you have this edgelet that you can use with either of those, but obviously it cuts off the cardstock. Fabulous, fabulous die set for weddings, anniversaries, special occasion stuff. It's just beautiful. The moment I saw it, I just knew I had to have it. And then the stamp set I'm using is Birthday Blooms, and I'm just using the little For You stamp in there. And then on to actual products. This is this is another sneaky peek, so we'll be using one of these. So these will be in the new Autumn Winter seasonal catalogue, and these are little cherry cobbler tassels, look, maybe baker's twine, gorgeous. So we'll be using one of those, and they come in, there will be a tin of tags in the new seasonal, and these come with the accessory set for that. So we've got those, you can tell which colour we're going with. We've then got an A4 sheet of cherry cobbler cardstock and 3 pieces of white vellum that measure 9.6 by 11.5, so that's 9.6 by 11.5, and that's what we're using to back the screen. You'll also need fast fuse, is probably the best thing for adhering the vellum to the back of the screen. First of all, we need to cut our cardstock to size, and we're using a full A4 card sheet of cardstock here, just so, yeah. So we want the full length, and then it is 14.8 centimetres long, so that it will go in a standard A6/C6 card base. Just take off the excess there. Now make sure your cutting blade is right out of the way. Rotate the cardstock, and then you're going to score at 10 centimetres. So we're scoring the long side here. Rotate it and score again at 10 centimetres. Now that does leave the middle one a little bit shorter than the others, but don't worry. And go back, so we're now scoring on the short side at the bottom, and you're going to score at 10.5 centimetres. And that will be the guide for where you're going to place your dies. So what we need to do next is we need to do the die cutting. So we're using this beautiful die here, and it just fits into each of these panels, as you can see, just like that, and it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right, so you will need the precision plate for best results. You can see when I first got it, I used it the wrong way round, and it ended up embossing the back of my precision plate, which wasn't good. So do read the instructions. Right, so the sandwich we're using is, we need the Big Shot platform. This is the new one. If you're using the one with the tabs, it's tab 2. Because we're doing Thinlits dies, we need this on, we need the adapter sheet, which is the same as tab 2. And then we need to put in our cardstock. So we're going to put this through 3 times basically. So just make sure you get your placement correct. And you do, with the precision plate, you do need to sort of move around where you're using things. I've got that wrong. I need a cutting plate there, otherwise it will damage that. Right, so let's start at one end and work our way along. Now you will find it's a tight squeeze getting this into your Big Shot, but just bear with it. So die goes down, just place it so it's as central as you can get it in that first panel. Precision plate goes on, and again make sure it's all nice and everything is inside. And we can bring the Big Shot up. What you don't want is to get the cardstock peeking out the sides, and then it all gets wrinkled. Right, so this goes through. There we go. So our first little panel is cut. If there's any cardstock in the die, then just knock it out, just wrap it against the table. You then want to line it up with your second panel. Get it as central as you can. Again, make sure that the cardstock is not sticking out the side. Back on with the precision plate, just hold everything in place with your fingers. Down that goes. Make sure everything's in there. Through we go. Oh, I've got the cutting plate caught in there, I think. I'm going to go backwards. I might be lucky and it might have already die cut. Yep, that's okay. And then we go along to the last panel, and obviously this time I make sure I don't get my multi-purpose platform in the way. And you're just checking where that scoring line is, this one here. And that's how you get your placement. Just line it all up again. Back on with that precision plate. Drop it down, get everything nice and central. And back through we go. It is a bit of a tight push. I think I've probably put an extra blade in there, extra plate in there that I don't need. It's my fault. Oh gosh, now it's gone on the floor. We're all die cut out. Right. I think I must have somehow, after that first one I did in a cutting plate. This is where you get in a jolly mess, because we need to flick out all of these. And this is the easiest way of clearing out the bulk. And it flicks everywhere, absolutely everywhere. But you want these to be coming out completely, because obviously it's an important part of the design of the luminaire. And we'll get the worst out with fingers, and then we can use the paper piercing tool just to get any extra bits out. And you could, if you were really resourceful, keep all of these little bits and make up little flowers and the such like of your own with them. Use them in your cards, because some of these are absolutely beautiful. And then just this last panel. Look at all that. So you just want to go along. You could use a baby wipe technique that just helps you to it just helps to stick the cardstock to the dry sheet so that it's easier for everything to come out. So you just want to loosen everything up. It does all come out really easy, but it's usually the little bits that just take a bit more reminding that they're supposed to come out. Now this panel hasn't quite come out properly, just because I didn't get right sandwich on there. So if you can take a little bit more time than me in getting this done. It's a lot easier if you are not filming, because I hate wasting your time, but you will more than get the gist of what we're doing. So just go around any last little bits that just need to be loosened up. Usually just rub them on the back and they'll pop out. There we go, almost done. I can remember when dies were not anywhere near as good as this, and it would seem to take hours to get everything to pop out. Right. sure any last loose bits are off. Okay, and then you've got your die cuts, and scoop that lot off, and this is where we start to play. So now you want your bone folder, and we're going to fold these long score lines here, and you obviously want them to go in a Z fold shape. So you've got that one, and this one comes this way. Just so. And there is your screen. See? Told you it was easy. Right, first of all, we are going to cut the feet. So I'm using a decorative label here, punch, and I seem to have moved over where I've been using the die cutter, sorry. Right, so just get your position. You've got your score line across here, so you can pop your decorative label on. You just want to go to this point here. See if I can pull you in a little bit. So it's where the two widest points are, and punch. Then all you need to do is go along to the next one and the next one, and just do your feet that way. And actually I'm fibbing, the easiest way is this way, because then you can line up exactly and then you line this one up. There you go. And that's your 3 feet made. Next we're going to put that vellum on the back, which is here, and this is where you want fast fuse or mini glue dots, or a combination of the both. So what I've tended to do is glue dots at the top here, because there isn't a lot of cardstock at the top, so you can go along, pop your glue dots on here. And it's so warm in here, my glue dots are incredibly gooey. So just glue dot on each panel. And I bet I'm going to run out of glue dots. Oops, we might be lucky. Let's pop one there first. There we go. Just enough. Look at that. Right, so fast fuse along the bottom, or rather down the sides here. Lost my fast fuse. Had it here. So some fast fuse. You could use tear and tape just down to that score line again. Same over here, down to the score line. Again. Again. And again. And then all we need to do is get our vellum sheets. Go from the top, because obviously there is less space at the top. There's panel 1. Then at the top, you're just leaving a gap for those score lines down there. You can see how easy it is to use the adhesive on the thing now. Don't like adhesive on my top. There we go. And then your last one at this edge here. So you're just leaving enough space for those scored lines. And they have your, oh look, I didn't put any adhesive there. Silly me. There we go. Right, so there is your card pretty much made. So all we're going to do now is decorate. And we're going to use some of this lovely gold, well it's red and white baker's twine. It's gorgeous. So just snip a length off. I'm going to loop it, pop it through here, bring it up, and then this is where that stapler comes in. So you just want to bring the handheld stapler in, position your tassel, and there we go. Done. Cut off any excess baker's twine. There's your tassel, and the last thing to do is our stamping. So archival black onto a scrap of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm using the Birthday Blooms stamp that just says "For You." Okay, and then lastly I want my hot punch, which was here when we started. There it is. I'm always losing stuff, I know, you should know me by now. There's your little heart. And this just needs to be placed wherever you want. I think I'm going to go here with Stampin' Dimensional. So I'll use a couple. Take the backing off and onto the front of your card. Decide where you want it to go. I'm going to pop mine there, and there is your card finished. So if I put that little light on, it says me, so that's the original. That's this one. Clear the decks a little bit. And there you've got the two side by side. Let's find that little light. I've got little die cut things everywhere now. So if we go pop that over the top, look at that, isn't that pretty? So pretty. And then standing upright, there we go. Very sweet. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I know I did. I loved making it. You can dress it up however you choose. You could stamp the background before you die cut it. I just quite like it as it is because it's quite sublime and beautiful. Don't forget that you can follow my community Pinterest board. All the details are in the show more section, along with all of my other social media information underneath, in the box underneath this video. And you can also, if you start following the board, then I will send you an invitation to start pinning yourself. You can decide whether that's what you want to do or not. I'd love to have you though, and we've got over 300 pinners, nearly 400 pinners on there now, so loads and loads of creative ideas. The first Christmas and Thanksgiving / Halloween stuff is starting to be posted on there as well, so loads, just hundreds and hundreds, well thousands actually, of creative ideas for you to search. It is a Stampin' Up board. I don't mind sort of a little bit of non-Stampin' Up stuff, but predominantly Stampin' Up, please. Anyone that spams me will find themselves deleted. Unfortunately, that happened, which is why I had to make it just Stampin' Up. But there you go. It's a lovely group, and everybody's so friendly on there, and it's just really nice way for me to get to know you, to find out the sort of styles that you like, because obviously what you pin reflects what you like. So it's a good way for me to find creative ideas, or come up with creative ideas that suit your style. So yeah, do join along. All my other social media information is in there as well. You can follow today's board by either clicking the eye icon or on the top right of this video, and that a little card of today's project will come up. Click on there, it will take you straight through to today's blog post. Alternatively, click on the link beneath today's video, that will also get you to the today's blog post, and the two kind of go live within minutes of each other. Lovely talking to you. I hope you've enjoyed this. I think this would be great as a Christmas card or a wedding card. So let me know how you utilise this design, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Ta-ta for now.